I may borrow your attention for a few brief minutes, and I'll keep it brief, not because of paucity of time, but because of the fact that I'm an unpaid volunteer. And you all know my father. Everyone knows my father, except the fine young gentleman in white who flagged me down at the red light on the way here and greeted me with a blank stare and promptly handed me a challan. Clearly, the privilege of saying Mera baap kaun hai doesn't work in this country anymore. More importantly, speaking of privilege, it's a privilege to have all of you here with us this evening. Dr. Vivek Debroy, Mr. Amar Patnaik, Mr. Amitabh Kant. I've learned so very much from everyone's experience in this room. Speaking of experience, I'm currently on furlough, which Suparna auntie had rightly predicted, and she also predicted that it will take me 3.5 years to make a man of myself. I hope that comes true as well. My father might have thought that I learned from the real world and everyone's experience, but what he said was, "Banwas mein nahi jaoge, to Ram kaise khilauge?" And speaking of the spirit of this evening and having everyone here, let me just say that it is times like this that remind us the importance of family, the importance of trust, truth, honesty, brotherhood, and thank you very much for being with us. A small address by Mr. Karan Bajwa, who is the chairman of CEOs Association for Inclusive India.
A very good evening, everyone, and thank you, Samir, for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak to all of you. I wish I could be here in person with, as you all celebrate today. While I have relocated to Singapore, I deeply care about building the new India along with all of you and participation from the broader industry. I'm in regular touch with the CEO Association of Inclusive India and Samir Kochar, and I look forward to expanding the footprint of friends and members of the CAII in the Asia Pacific region. I'm really happy to see that Kulmeet is taking over as the president of CAII, and I don't think there could have been a better choice than him. My association with Kulmeet goes back over 15 years, and we also had a chance to work together in the past in one of the organizations. Kulmeet is an amazing individual who leads with a great balance of empathy and a great business acumen. I was so happy to propose his name as the next president of CAII. All the best to you, Kulmeet. I'm sure you'll carry on doing great things. It's also a pleasure to see the initiative of CAII on identifying and acknowledging professionals from the private sector who've really worked on building digital India. Stay well, everyone. Stay safe and have a great evening. And I look forward to seeing all of you very, very soon.
May I now please invite Mr. Kulmeet Bawa, President and Managing Director, SAP India, and President, CEOs Association for Inclusive India.
So it's an absolute pleasure to join all of you, and I wish I could be there in person. And by the way, what I have to say is, Rohan, looking at you and looking at some of the other people that I saw, I'm feeling bad that I'm not as swankily dressed as all of you today. Otherwise, I would have had a chance to wear my tuxedo also. But apologies, there were some clashing social commitments, and we were hosting. So there was no sneaking out of it. But at the outset, Samir, my compliments to you for the continued stellar job that Scotch and CAII continue to do for India. And I'm delighted, Karan. Thanks to you to take over as president of CAII, and I hold Karan in very, very high esteem, and I make no bones about it. But thank you for the privilege. And CAII is very clearly a very important or a strategic platform that garners the very best talent from the industry, from what I've noticed, right? To getting them to row or to getting them to work towards the inclusive growth of India. And needless to say, but I've been saying this in the last week, I think 2 or 3 different forums, but India is today poised at at some sort of an inflection point. We've got a massive growth potential in front of us, whether it's our startup ecosystem or the demographic advantage or the massive tech talent pool that we have in the country today. So we are clearly poised to show the world how it is done. And, I guess, or I would choose to think that we've already started tapping massively into the abundance of capital that's available today globally and in our country, whether it's what metaverse is bringing for us in the future or artificial intelligence and the advantage we have today to build upon that. And from a CI perspective, I believe that all of these trends will definitely be playing a very major role in getting India to the $1 trillion digital economy dream as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister. I think we will need to get the back ends and the front ends to merge in order to provide those beautiful, magical digital experiences that we are all so getting used to today. But I leave the tech piece aside. But my compliments to CAI again on identifying and, like Karan said, on acknowledging professionals from the private sector who continue to build on the dream of digital India the way we've envisaged it for our country, for our nation. So kudos to everyone there, and my congratulations to all of you.
It is also Kulmeet Bawa's birthday, which he shares with Gursharan Dhanjare. And what we have is a cake that Gursharan is going to cut from here, and Kulmeet is going to virtually cut from wherever he is, and we're going to have a birthday because this is a family, right? Come Gursharan, come. So what does the cake say? Gursharan, you can read it for him.
Actually, Kulmeet, this goes more for you and than me, and I'll be cutting it on your behalf.
Oh wow, I love that. Thank
But
you.
it's a huge chocolate mocha cake. It's got a moist interior. It's got a dash of rum in it, and
Wow.
it's got some white chocolate and some black chocolate. You know, these things that they kind of sticky things that they stick in it, and it says "Happy birthday to Kulmeet and Gursharan." Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kulmeet and Gursharan. Happy birthday to you. And just do the candle for you. And his second one for himself. And now he's cutting the cake. Yeah.
Well, it's been a great evening, and it's pleasure to have all of you with us. And in fact, it reminds me of our journey, which is what I started with Samir maybe 3 decades ago. We have all got together today for a great celebration. He has already listed out, there are 4 things which are happening. Interestingly, there are quite a few things which are popular, are famous about Samir. 2 things, which is what has always touched the chord, that is the warmth and going out of his way and doing things for the people, whether they deserve or they don't deserve. So a big round of applause for him. And the way I go back with him, and it was a rainy day. I caught up with him outside his office, which used to be in Okhla Pertec Computers, PCL. And I was chasing him as a reporter from Asia Business News, asking things about that's 19999 PC. How has he made it possible? The legendary sub 20,000 PC which was launched. And of course, HCL was also there, equally as much in fight. And he said that, I just made it happen. Come, I'll show you. And there were tents which were put up, and it was being done as though some kind of some polio vaccination drive was going on. And well, that was the beginning, and I kept chasing him. And one fine day, I called up his office, and I said, I want to meet up with Samir Kochhar. He said, no more works with us. I said, what happened? No, he no more works with us. Give me his coordinates. No. I fortunately had his mobile number. I called him up, and I said that I want to meet up with you. Apparently, you are no more with the PCL, but I would like still to understand the story. He said, okay, meet me in Vasant Vihar. I said, Vasant Vihar? Okay, I'll meet you in Vasant Vihar. Where? So one residential address was given to me, which belongs to his father-in-law. So I walked around and found the place, and then I asked him that, yes, there are a few things which is what I would like to understand about the industry, whatever is going on. And very, very softly, he said that, now I'm called Scotch. I'm not PCL. I said, all right, because I was a reporter, I would always ask, where's your office? So I asked him, where's your office? I'll come and meet you in office. He fished out Nokia 6110. He said, "This is my office. I'm Scotch. This is my office." I was totally lost by then. I said, "Forget it. I'm do not understand what you do, but you're giving me two sound bites which are very important, which I'm going to put against the chairman the founder of NASCOM, Devang Mehta at that time." And that was the humble beginning, which is what I felt that, a person, where he comes from and where he sits and what he does. So, in fact, that's such an interesting thing which has led to the creation of this brand called Scotch. It has not been done so easily. Perseverance, hard work, toiling in the sun has been, part of that. So, I'll just, quickly take you through our journey as to, where we started from and where do we stand today. We believe in 360-degree coverage. So Scotch Consultancy Services, which is what he formed in 1997 June, is a think tank. Then we also diversified into media, which is inclusion, and then we moved on to publishing, which is, we have almost published more than 19 volumes on various aspects of Indian economy, social, digital, and financial inclusion. And then we said that till such time you start to reach out to your target audience in a very, very targeted manner, it is not going to work. So we started broadcast. So Scotch TV was formed. And since we have been a very, very, the kind of people who have been grounded and believe in the inclusive growth, we said that it's important to divorce the church and the state function. So we need to now go the foundation way because we have to separate it. So foundation was born, which works for the inclusive growth of India. And today we are celebrating the CEOs Association of Inclusive India, which is the very basic basis of the entire journey of Scotch in last over 25 years that we have had. That we stand on three legs of social, digital, and financial inclusion, which is equal to inclusive growth.
स्कॉच फाउंडेशन को और उसके सभी पदाधिकारियों को हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इस पुरस्कार के लिए उनने मेरा चयन किया है.
Mr. Samir Kocher's book on Modinomics is being released today. We've just had the benefit of listening to him. I must say he's a very blunt man.
He is really a very resourceful person.
समीर जी, I want to thank you very much. हम लोगों ने सबने अपनी जनता की प्रतिज्ञा ली है समीर जी. ये प्रतिज्ञा लेके सेवा की सोच करके हम यहाँ इस मंच पे आए हैं.
मैं फिर से धन्यवाद देती हूँ कोचर जी को, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपनी मेहनत, अपनी लगन से, मैंने अपनी मर्जी से यहाँ आए हैं अपनी टीम के साथ. उन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी का 3 पूरे दिन हमको दिया है.
Thank you very much, Samir ji, for this opportunity. You said I've attended. This is my 3rd event at Scotch.
नीचे से उठ करके ऊपर आने वाले समीर कोचर जी मेरे बहुत अच्छे मित्र हैं.
I congratulate Shri Samir Kocher.
Thank you to Samir Kocher for putting together.
So it says it all, with lots of warmth. And ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity and present to you the man who created this brand called Scotch, Samir.
Thank you very much. I was not supposed to be speaking this evening, but I don't know about you guys, but I am very emotional, and I cry easily. And ever since this COVID thing has happened, I cry easier still. And there was something that, kind of touched my heart 2 days back. Because Tanmoy, in a post, thanked the Scotch family. And my whole journey of 25 years, it kind of ran in front of my office. And I really felt that, if nothing else I have done, we've done the journey from the Scotch group to the Scotch family. And when you're going through COVID, and I am certain, आप कितना भी brave हो, कुछ भी हो, सबका morbid thought तो आता है कि मेरा टपकने का time आ गया, ठीक है ना? And I am 57 years old, and the average age of my family is 70. So I realized that, अपना 13-15 साल बचा है, अभी क्या करने का है. So 2-3 चीज I kind of realized. First, I must speak from my heart. And then, 2-3 things kind of dawned on me, which I'll share as we move forward. But when I talk about that we are all Scotch Parivar, I also realized that this digital India and all these things in India that we take for granted has taken a long time coming. If you look at digital India, actually started in 1982. And it's been 40 years, and next year is going to be 2022, and we're going to be completing those 40 years. Is it that it has been done only by the government, or there is some role of the private sector? I'm actually trying to write a book called The Rise of Digital India, and I realized today also, when we look at speeches and all of that, and Dr. Vijay Kelkar and Ajay Shah wrote a book recently called In Service of the Republic, and in the book they say that the state does not have the capacity to do this, this and this. But the fact of the matter is, state never had the capacity. And whatever has happened, it is nothing that we are inventing today, that there is going to be PPP and there is going to be private. This new India, the digital India, whatever we say, the foundation is standing on the shoulders of all of you in this room. And that is what makes us family. What also makes us family is the fact that none of us has a privileged background. I am मुंह पर बोल देता हूँ कि मैं गरीब था, गोभी का पराठा बनाने के लिए खिड़की तोड़ा, फिर रद्दी का डब्बा बेचा, and then I had a gobi ka paratha, and everyone says, yeah, what a humble guy. But the fact is, I think each one of you has the same story. It's just that I talk about it, you don't talk about it. And when CP told me that his mother used to say, you cannot fall sick this month, you cannot afford to fall sick this month because the money is finished. You should fall sick next month. That is when you realize that your brothers in blood. And everybody is like that. All of us has come from either lower class or middle class at best. I think none of us is born with a spoon, golden spoon. In fact, somebody joked, Shubhi was with Yes Bank and somebody introduced me, meet Mr. So-and-so, I don't know to name the person. He was born with a golden spoon in his mouth. I said, I'm so pleased to meet you. I was, born hand to mouth. So that's the difference. And so none of us, I think all of us were born hand to mouth. So that is what makes us family, right? The second thing that struck me was that this family actually encompasses not just the private sector, it is also about the people in the government. Vivek Debroy, who's now in the government, has walked with me in the cities of Lahore looking for my ancestral house. When we formed Scotch Foundation, he was our first distinguished fellow. We go back such a long time, and now today he is Chairman Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. He is the new pro economist. He's written so many books. But to me, he's still Vivek and still family, and more so. Suparna is of course family because she has a say in, she predicts. She's very good at predictions. If you want any haath vaat dikhane ka hai, so she's the person. So there have been many people, and one of the persons that I met recently is Amar Patnaik. He is a brilliant Rajya Sabha MP. He was an IAS. He's the right-hand man of Naveen Patnaik. And that's a state, I love Odisha. It's such a clean state. And if you have to learn humility, you should go to Naveen Patnaik to learn humility. Right? And he is single-handedly trying to document best practices in Odisha, and he's trying to popularize them. I think it's very important to make note of such things, learn from them. This is what we've been trying to do for 25 years in Scotch. So, Amar, we are also family. So, last but not the least, I think मैंने बताया 13-15 साल बचा है, अब अपना कैलकुलेट कर लो एवरेज इस फैमिली का निकाल के, तो अभी क्या करने का है? So I think all of us together should work for inclusive growth of India. That inclusive growth is growth. One, it is job generative. There is nothing required more in this country than jobs. Second, it is spatially dispersed. Northeast हो, Odisha हो, कोई भी corner हो India का, that growth has to reach every nook and corner of India. And finally, it has to be inclusive growth, which is something that is poverty reducing growth, which is what I wanted to say. And if all of you think you are a part of Scotch Parivar, that is the ethos of Scotch Parivar, please be a part of this family, and let's, in next 10-13 years that I have, and you have many more than that, God bless you, let us try and do something about this poverty nonsense.
Thank you very much for, emotionally binding us all together and calling us a Scotch Parivar. Because ultimately, whether or not we are blood brothers or blood sisters, but we share a common dream. And that is a dream of India, which is inclusive, wherein is job generative, specially dispersed, and we are able to lift another 200 million people out of the poverty. On CAII, as to when we met last and whatever we have been able to achieve ever since. Scotch Awards are well known. I do not need to make an introduction. But I must say, the genesis of Scotch Award has not been easy. It was the year 2003. And already been almost 6 years we've been traveling across the country documenting what works, what does not work. And in that, as Samir mentioned, Dr. Debroy has been a friend, philosopher and guide as to how are you supposed to be doing the ground level research, both from the perspective of anthropology, sociology, as well as economics. And the results, whatever we collected over a period of time, we were also helped at the same time to put these together in a tenable form. That was not easy. There were a lot of things which were working in the country but were not being reported. So we said that whatever is not working, let's leave it for the mainline media. Whatever is working, let's put Scotch in it, minus the tea, passion in it, and see as to whatever works. So a lot of things we found that actually have been working but not being reported the way they needed to be. So that led to the first Scotch governance report card, which was published for the first time for the year 2003 in the year 2004. And this was a report which was based on our ground level research. So we actually been to the places to find out as to, what is the felt needs. One major discovery that happened at that time was that why people are not happy with the policy intervention by the government. Very simple. They were looking for X, they were being given Y. So there was a total mismatch between demand and supply. We tried to correct it. And we brought those beacons of hope onto the platform, say that, no one recognizes this person. Met a lady in Kalahandi who had formed a federation of 100 SHGs, which enabled Kalahandi to come out of the penury. It was no more known to be a place with starvation deaths. It wasn't easy. And mind you, that was the biggest contribution made by Dr. Rangarajan, who allowed SHGs to open bank accounts. So there has been a full circle, one good policy decision impacting the society. So we met with that lady, it was very treacherous, and we got her onto the platform, saying that, she needs to be recognized because she is an unsung hero. Dr. Rangarajan was given the Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions, while this lady was given another award for being the Grassroots Woman of the Year. Dr. Rangarajan said, who is she? I don't recognize her. And she presented the award to him by saying that, Dr. Rangarajan, I know you, you don't. I am the one who put together 100 SHGs and enabled them to open bank accounts, which was allowed by you. So both were the unsung heroes. So that's been the kind of journey which Scotch has been through. So when we started documenting these stories, it led us to create a knowledge repository of what works. We call them beacons of hope. And it's been a long time. Small anecdote. Samir said that, nobody gives us any award for the work that we do. I said, that's true. We've been going all across the country, Kalahandi, this, that, nobody recognizes our work. So let's institute an award, because there is no award in this category. तो हमें कोई नहीं देता तो हम दुनिया को देना शुरू करते हैं. And with the blessing of everyone, we are standing at a spot today wherein we are an uncontested, independent award in the private sector. And that has been a long journey. So what you see here is one reflection from that journey. We've been engaged, moving further as CAII with the government of West Bengal, with the government of Odisha and the government of Assam. If you go back to the history again, I mean, look at the economic trajectory as to how these three states have performed, and why is it that we are picking up on these three states? There would be a story to it. One is a gateway to the northeast. Second was a state which was called economically and politically unstable. Everything has been negated over a period of time. And West Bengal, which was only supposed to have been a red flag into everything, no longer. It is also on a growth path. There would be many. Moving forward, we would be engaging with many more states. But yes, these are the three which have been on the radar, and we have started engaging with them in the last 6 months. So the story goes back to the government of Assam. You can see the warmth in a picture on your left with which Samir was received by the Chief Minister. So this was a delegation, CII delegation, in the month of June this year itself, which met with the Honorable Minister, and discussions ranged from organizing conferences on digital Assam, not just stopping at that, but taking it further, making Guwahati as a gateway to the northeast and Assam as an investment destination. A lot of new age technologies that we talk about, food processing that we talk about. Northeast is known for diverse food. And when you talk about here sitting a chili called Bhoot Jalakia, most of the people will ask, what is it? But this is the chili in the world. And whenever we go there, we pick up 2 kilos, and they say that you guys are mad because 2 kilos are going to last you more than 3 years. And the airline will not allow you to take it in your hand baggage because it is considered a nuclear explosion. You can hijack the aircraft, so you're not allowed to do it. So I have to go back and put it in my check-in baggage once all over again. And when either Sameer's help or my help is chopping the chilies, we are giving them complete instructions that wear gloves, otherwise you're going to go fall sick. First experience was my maid did not report for 3 days. She was actually sick with Bhoot Jalakia, only the fumes. So having said this, so we have identified our areas of interest. Looking at Northeast, there are opportunities in AI, there are opportunities in gaming, there are opportunities in the new age technologies, blockchain and so on and so forth, and particularly so the tribal food technology parks, and there is a great demand of the same, beginning from Assam all the way up to the northeast. Happened to be introduced to Institute of Entrepreneurship, which is what has created this brand called Trisam. If you Google search Tribes of India, you will find the organic products which are coming from the whole of Northeast will beat any other product anywhere across the country, blue. Whatever sells here for maybe $100 sells there for 15 rupees and is healthy. They need to be given their forward linkages. The product has been developed. So CII expressed its interest and received with a lot of warmth. So moving forward, CII would be forming several committees just to strengthen the existing stakeholder ecosystem. And I'm happy to announce the committee which is headed by Dr. Gulshan Rai on privacy and security, Mr. Vishal Jain of Inspira Enterprise will be joining it and strengthening it further. So kindly show yourself to the audience, please. The discussions that took place in Assam at Guwahati, the committee on the development of the northeastern region. So Vishal is also going to be as much part of that. So welcome to the fraternity, Vishal. Another committee which is being formed is on the creator economy, which is headed by Dr. Subi Chaturvedi from Zupi. And with Zeal, another new age technology company, Debarshi Datta is going to be part of that. So can we have Debarshi? There we are. And Ankur along with that, who is the founder of With Zeal. So welcome to. And CEO's Choice Award. when we instituted the Scotch Award. The ethos of Scotch Awards were based on the people who have made the country, people, institutions who have made the country better. And that essentially focused on the government sector. Over a period, we realized that there is not enough recognition which is coming to the corporate world, who have actually contributed immensely towards the building and the formation of New India. So the foundation of CEO's Choice Award, both along with the CAII as well as Scotch, is based on identifying and recognizing and celebrating the contributions made by professionals in the corporate India towards the building of this new India, which is what today we call the digital India. So my congratulations to everyone who has gathered today, being part of the celebrations and also being celebrated. This is how it looks today. The CAII, as we say, we heard Karan speak, we also heard Kulmeet speak. Samir Kochhar continues to be the Secretary General. UK Sinha, Dhanendra Kumar, he joined us today for a little while and he had to leave because of a family emergency. Dr. Gulshan Rai. Vishal Jain is going to be part of Privacy and Security. Subi is going to lead the Committee on Creator Economy, supported by Debarshi. So congratulations to everyone. Today, we are going to be starting another journey, which is the CEO's Choice Award.
I believe Scotch is the fountainhead of some innovative thinking in the country.
Anything that you do for the larger good of the nation is a collective multi-stakeholder responsibility. And it's very important that we recognize the contribution of each set of stakeholders.
We all talk about India growing at a certain pace. We talk about the GDP, we talk about the way our economy is flourishing and will flourish in future. And if we do not include every single citizen in India to be a part of this entire journey, I would say that the job's not yet done.
Private sector is an integral part of the growth story, the change story, digital story of the country for years together.
Government cannot do anything on its own. Government needs participation by industry. Digital India success story, I think there are multiple stakeholders. Each and every facet, each and every such group needs to be recognized.
So far, traditionally, government leadership has been recognized for accomplishments that have happened which have transformed the nation. And Samir has come up with the thought process of also looking at recognizing the private sector. And I always look at it as two sides of the coin.
I certainly think it's really unique, and I have to congratulate CAII and Scotch, and specifically Sameer, for thinking of this. It's innovative, it's something very different, and I love the theme behind this, the theme of Parivar.
We have large population which is enamored by the visible impacts, and very less people focusing on the foundation and fundamentals which will make those visible impacts happen. Now this kind of award recognizes the work of people into those fundamental aspects or the building blocks of the digital India. Hence I think it is unique.
They have always spearheaded deep research, unbiased way of looking at people, their contributions, no political dispensation or lineage, calling a spade, and recognizing the work.
Somebody has to take the lead, and what I like about Scotch in terms of their approach is the difference that they bring in the thought process as they conceptualize the awareness generation about different aspects required for people to think about inclusivity, and that brings the uniqueness to Scotch.
Scotch, I think it's done a very good job in just getting so many diverse people together. I think with a great passion, Sameer, yes. Almost like a mercenary with an objective. Keep moving ahead. All the best.
All of us who've been in at least in public policy or even working on digital initiatives, I think we've watched Scotch with great interest. We follow what they do. They've had some great initiatives, but more importantly, what they have planned for now is even more encouraging and more ambitious. Mr. Sameer keeps talking about the Scotch family, but yeah, I mean, being a part of that family is great.
May I please invite Dr. Vivek Debroy, Chairman, Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, to give away the Scotch CEO's Choice Awards 2021. The first award of the evening goes to Mr. Tanmay Chakrabarti, Group Government Affairs Officer, Tata Sons Limited, for contributions to mission mode projects. Mr. Chakrabarti's association with the rise of Digital India has been there since inception of the NEGP. The first ever mission mode project under the Atal Bihari Vajpayee administration, MCA 21. The scale and success of MCA 21 resulted in the Passport Seva project, and it was due to his efforts that the mindset at the time began shifting from what one can get from intelligent IT solutions to how much IT needs to be put into government systems. Many congratulations, Mr. Chakrabarti.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you, Sameer, for hanging in there for the last maybe 20 plus years. I think Scotch has been a catalyst to the whole journey of transformation of the country. He has egged on the government, he has egged on the private sector, he has brought about the bridging of the minds. I remember all the engagements at the state government level that he had, and I thank him for bringing together this whole ecosystem. I see so many familiar faces here in the room. I want to dedicate this award to all my colleagues at TCS. I used to be 14 years in TCS and I moved to Tata Sons in 2018. I think it's the toil of 12,500 people who were working for government at that time. And today I am absolutely delighted to receive the award from Dr. Vivek Debroy, with whom I had the association of writing a paper that we presented to the Prime Minister in Chandigarh, together with Suparna. Yeah, of course, she was a part of it, where we actually prescribed at that time recommendations for digital transformation and e-governance. So I see so many familiar faces. Mr. Ramadurai, who was my first boss in TCS for 7 years. The next 7 years was Chandra, who brought me to Tata Sons. He said, 14 saal, is 14 years is enough. Now you come and work in Tata Sons. I think we as a country have taken the right road to bring about the fact that you cannot administer 1.4 billion people in the traditional Nadewala file system that the British left for us. It's the digital transformation, it's the end-to-end holistic digital journey that we have to undertake to be able to bring about transparency, to bring about change. I thank my sacrifices made by my wife Preeti, who's here, for all the things that I didn't do with her, and my children who are here as well, my daughter from London and my son is here in Delhi, my in-laws are here. So it's a full contingent, as you can see. Samir, thank you so much for recognizing some of us in the private sector who were one side of the coin, if I can call that.
And for those of you, what has not been mentioned is इसने किया क्या था? Two things which touch all of us: the passport project and the MCA 21 project is because of this man here. And it has changed India definitively. So congratulations and thank you on behalf of people of India and Scotch Parivar.
The next award for the evening goes to Mr. Satish Kausha, Executive Director, Government Advisory, Ernst & Young, for contributions to digital states. Mr. Kaushal has been central to the digital enablement of a new India as a strategy leader for the Aadhaar program and developing algorithms, biometric solutions and logistics. His vast experience in administrative areas and e-governance can be seen from projects such as the digital tracking of grains and essential commodities transported from FCI, Government of Gujarat storage to public distribution points. Being part of the NEGP implementation and rollout between 2004 and 2007, he was instrumental in some of the projects that benefited from his expertise, including JNN-URM, airport modernization, and intelligent transport systems. Many congratulations, Mr. Kaushal.
Satish, a few words. You cannot go to a state government, actually even the central government, where everybody does not know Satish Kaushal. His reputation precedes him. Satish, congratulations.
I don't have words to thank anything less than what Samir has been doing for last so many years. Yesterday morning, I just looked at one of the videos on NEGP and came out a speech by Dr. Chandrasekhar way back in 2006. So it has been a long, long journey, and I must compliment for your persistence throughout. I must take an opportunity here while thanking Samir to recognize the private sector here, that all of us have been a part of this journey. We continue to work, and I do take this opportunity in thanking EY for giving me a complete platform to work freely, and especially my manager and partner Gaurav Taneja. In the last 6 years, he has asked us to work closely in states like Bihar and Jharkhand. Just two projects that I would name. In Bihar, EY has been now working for the last 6 years. We have touched the lives of almost 13.5 lakh youth to skill them, upskill them, train them, and deploy them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And the best benefit that you get if you know Satish Kaushal is sends you wonderful pyaz kachori. Two very distinguished people who joined us. One is Dr. Rajesh Agarwal, Secretary Skill Development. He was the man who changed Maharashtra digitally. He got appointed as Joint Secretary in Department of Financial Services. And I had told him it is because of poor of India you got this chair. And today he's sitting on the next chair, which is Secretary Skill Development. That too is for the poor of India. And in that we are family. And the other gentleman is, of course, none other than Mr. Amitabh Kant, who's kind enough, gracious enough to tell me that why do you send me emails? You just pick up the phone and tell me that I have to come and I'll come. And he's here with us. Niti Aayog is very different than Planning Commission. They give free advice. Planning Commission also give money. But to be able to perform and get outcomes with no money, free advice, but hardcore outcomes in areas like aspirational districts, in areas like artificial intelligence, in areas like gaming, wherever you see the new India, the foundation is coming from Niti Aayog, and I think he should get the Red and White Bravery Award for doing it without any money whatsoever. And for that, he is Scotch Parivar. Also, we have no money either. But we deliver. So you can continue the awards.
The next award for the evening goes to Ms. Shweta Khurana, Director, Asia Pacific and Japan Intel Corporation, for contributions to capacity building. The crux of her work has been focused on facilitating access to technology, skills, and digitalization to meet different societal needs. Ms. Khurana has been driving large-scale public-private partnerships for well over 2 decades now, and the Responsible AI for Youth program with the NEGD, Ministry of Electronics and IT, has helped 52,628 students in government schools across India, and is another example of Shweta's commitment to empowering humanity through technology. Many congratulations.
Congratulations, Shweta.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and it's a privilege indeed. I have a lot of people to thank. First and foremost, of course, my mentors and all the coaches I've had over the years, and my peers. But more importantly, because the theme is Parivar, I want to acknowledge 2 sets of families who have been very closely associated with me. One is my team, who are watching me perhaps, and the second is my family. So I have my daughter, who's now grown up, but I kind of remember when she was young, she used to kind of imagine that, and she's the only child I have, so she used to imagine that my laptop is her sibling. And that's how that relationship kind of grew all the way. So more importantly, when we work with government, we often say that our work is challenging because we need to create a win-win situation. A win for the government and a win for our organization who we represent. But what I really want to thank CII and Scotch specifically is because you've added another win to this entire statement. There's a win for the professionals who are here and who've been a part of this journey. So thank you so very much.
The next award for the evening goes to Mr. Akhilesh Tuteja, Global Head Cybersecurity Consulting and India Head for Digital Consulting at KPMG, for contributions to cybersecurity. Mr. Tuteja has been instrumental in moving the government and corporate perspective from risk mitigation to cybersecurity. His expertise is relied upon by the industry to protect mission-critical business assets as well as incubate and manage high-growth businesses. He is an ardent advocate of digital transformation and leveraging technology to address business needs with security embedded in design. Many congratulations, Mr. Tuteja.
Thank you very much. I really don't have words. You said we need to take 1 or 2 minutes. I don't even need to take that much because I don't have much to say. I'm overwhelmed. It's only about 15 years ago, I remember sitting in the audience when you were talking about and giving out the Scotch Awards, and said, what these guys must have done to deserve it. And I'm so happy today that I have the privilege of sharing the stage with you. Absolutely fascinating. So the first reason I think I want to accept this award is for the people I've worked with. I don't think that a consultant like me can survive or do anything. All of you know that consultants are used to telling the time by looking at your own watch. So I've done that all my life. So all those who have shown me your watches, I thank you those and everybody. And the second person I think I want to receive this award is, some of you might know that we run a program called the Cyber Day. We believe that the cybersecurity is very important, but the most important people who we need to make secure are our young kids. So we teach school kids between 6 and 14 years every year in the month of October. And yesterday I had the privilege of teaching another 400 kids. And they were like 7 to 11. And trust me, they possibly know more than what many of my consultants do. So I think I accept this award on behalf of those. And lastly, I think, Samir, you've been giving a lot of people all the awards. I think possibly you deserve the biggest award yourself. So if I'm accepting this award today, it is my way of saying thank you and gratitude, because this award truly belongs to you for having created this entire inclusive India. Thank you so much.
The next award for the evening goes to Ms. Bisakha Bhattacharya for contributions to public policy. She is the leader for public policy APAC at AWS, working across sectors including IT, ITES, cloud, startups, medtech, semiconductor manufacturing, and advanced IC facilities. As a defense scientist, she has worn several hats. From the Rangachari committee that laid the foundation of the advanced pricing agreement regime for the Indian IT sector, she has worked closely with the Ministry of Finance to develop clarity in the GST regime, improving ease of doing business, market expansion, business competition, and innovation. Many congratulations, Ms. Bhattacharya.
Thank you so much. I think the brief that we have from Scotch is that it's an informal and a warm and a witty evening. So I'll stick to that, sir. We've got a lot of instructions, by the way, and today of how to behave and what to say. And I must say that the red carpet, wow, I think it's a one-time experience for all of us. And you've made us feel like stars. Thank you so much for it. I would like to start by really thanking the government officials for being extremely patient with us. I think we do go with lots of inputs. Of course, it's wonderful to be parts of organizations who have given me personally an opportunity to make this difference. It wouldn't have been possible without that. Of course, I work with AWS now, but before that, IBM, NASSCOM, FICCI. I think it just goes on endlessly. So I'm absolutely grateful to everybody who made that happen. And finally, of course, the family. I think they let me make my decisions. They allowed me to explore, like Rohan said, an extremely checkered career, moving from different areas. And I've loved that path. And I hope to bring that diversity as I continue to be a public policy professional. Today's award dedicated to all public policy professionals across the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
May I now please invite a man I admire immensely, Dr. Vivek Debroy, for his remarks and impressions.
Thank you, Rohan and Samir and ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. That did not exactly come out the way I intended to, because it tended to suggest that Samir and Rohan are not gentlemen. They are. And I have known Samir for years and years, close to 20 years. In all of these years, I've never asked him, who named you Samir? Samir, as you know, means the wind. So does Vayu. And I've always wondered who named him Samir and did not name him Vayu. Samir means something etymologically. Both words mean the wind, but etymologically Samir is something that goes everywhere. And Samir actually goes everywhere. You've seen the transition of Scotch. When I first met Scotch, when I first encountered Scotch, I used to think it was whiskey. Just as when I first in print saw CAII, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. I still am not very sure whether it's Sky or Chai. At first I thought it was about the famous singer. It's only subsequently that I realized it stood for something else. And I saw the program when Samir first sent the invitation. Samir said, you have to give away some awards. I said, fine, I'm happy to give away awards. I'm happier to receive awards, but okay, you want me to give away awards? I shall give away awards. And then comes the program, it says awards and impressions. So I asked him, what is this? Awards and impressions? Impressions about what? And a little while later in the program, there are more awards and there are impressions by my dear colleague and friend, and also co-host on the newly launched Sunset TV, Amitav Kant. And Amitav is also supposed to give impressions. And let me acknowledge the presence of Ranjita also. So I rang up Samir and said, what is this? I am giving impressions, Amitav is giving impressions. And Samir said, you can't express yourself. So yours is impressions, Amitav's is expressions. He can express himself. I said, all right, impressions. But do I really have to speak? He said, yes, you have to speak. I don't think anyone here remembers nursery rhymes other than Rohan, who's just stepped out. So there's this famous nursery rhyme, little Tommy Tucker, he sings for his supper, what shall we give him? White bread and butter. What shall he eat with? We shall give him a knife. How will he get married without a wife? You don't have knives there, you have forks. Samir, in case you don't know, is also a bit of a gourmet, not a gourmand. And I'm using the difference consciously. So we won't get white bread and butter. Rest assured that with Samir around, we will get decent food, even if it happens to be the Habitat Center. Impressionist painting, impressionist painting. Well, the Impressionist painters did all kinds of things differently. But one of the things they did differently, one of the things, not the only thing, is earlier painters, when they used wet paint, they waited for the paint to dry before a new coat of paint was applied. One of the innovations of the Impressionist painters was they applied wet paint on wet paint. Samir is not only a gourmand, a gourmet in terms of food, he will also ensure that you are sufficiently lubricated and your wet is replenished with more wet. Samir has been interested in inclusion for a very, very long time. There's a magazine he runs, still runs I guess, called Inclusion. So he's been interested in the inclusion agenda, and everyone who's getting an award here is in some fashion or the other interested in the inclusion agenda. Inclusion for whom? All of us are fond of quoting Mahatma Gandhi's famous statement, India lives in its villages. We don't necessarily read the paragraph where Mahatma Gandhi wrote this. In the paragraph that he wrote this, he mentions the number of villages that existed in India then, which was 700,000. For various reasons, villages disappear over a period of time. Now the number is down to about 600,000. So inclusion is about these 600,000 also. Bridging the digital divide is also about these 600,000 villages, not the likes of us. And Delhi, incidentally, has about 237 villages, according to the census. So it's also about these 600,000 villages. Poverty, unemployment, however you define it, they can be reduced to asymmetry of information. And what this wonderful, wonderful digital mode enables you to do, is to reduce that asymmetry of information. So therefore, it is a great enabler, although we are still in the midst of the COVID pandemic, it's a great enabler in enabling India to address the digital divide, to address issues of inclusion. Whose job is it to ensure inclusion? The Constitution begins with the word, the preamble begins with the expression, we the people. It does not begin with the expression, we the government. So the responsibility for ensuring this inclusion, the responsibility for ensuring that the digital divide goes away is not only on government, it is on all of us as citizens, as communities, as citizens of India or Bharatvarsha. Which is why in his recent 75th Independence Day speech, the recent one from Lal Killa, the Honorable Prime Minister used the expression Sabka Prayas. Initially, when these awards started, they were meant for government people. Now, I think it's a very good idea that it's being extended to non-government people also, because that is part of the process. When I first got the invitation, I also wondered about the choice of the date, 30th October. And I wondered, before turning up here, why did Sameer choose 30th of October? It has nothing to do with Habitat being available on 30th of October. Sameer has enough clout to ensure Habitat is available whenever you want it. It's only after turning up here I realized that it happens to be Gursharan's birthday as well as Mr. Bawa's birthday. So maybe that was the reason. It also happens to be the birthday of someone about no non-Bengali has heard of. And that is Sukumar Ray, Satyajit Ray's father, who wrote a lot of nonsense verse along the lines of Edward Lear. He's been referred to as Bengal's Edward Lear. Sameer does talk a lot of nonsense, but I did not think that he was aware of Bengal's contribution to nonsense verse. So initially, I thought that 30th of October was because of Orson Welles. And Sameer has always reminded me of Orson Welles. Bit of a showman. Of course, he's lost weight, so he's no longer as physically close to Orson Welles as Orson Welles used to be. On 30th of October 1938, in a radio broadcast, Orson Welles startled the world because he broadcast the A.G. Wells War of the Worlds, and the entire world was was alarmed because they thought aliens were invading the world. So Sameer has this characteristic also of galvanizing people. These awards are an example of that. He said he would live till 70 years, so I would suggest to someone that someone should give him at some point in time a Lifetime Achievement Award. When India became independent in 1947, we have no clear handle on what the life expectancy was. The only figure that I've been able to track was in Minu Masani's Our India, when the life expectancy in India, which is really British India then, was 27 years. We have firm life expectancy figures from 1951, when it went up to 31 years. I like to think this is not quite true, but I like to think the life expectancy went up because Pakistan went away. But doesn't matter. Life expectancy in India has gone up. So we have several years. Someone should give him a Lifetime Achievement Award to Scotch, to Sameer Kochhar. Sameer, Rohan, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vivek.
Now may I please invite one of my heroes, Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO of Niti Aayog, to give away the Scotch CEO's Choice Awards. The award for contributions to digital municipalities goes to Mr. Prakash Rane, founder and managing director, ABM Knowledgeware Limited. What started as a maiden implementation of ERP systems at Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation during the early 2000s has flourished into a statewide implementation across over 275 municipalities in Maharashtra. Mr. Rane, personally seen at work, helped quickly establish himself as a force to be reckoned with in the municipalities domain. His company, ABM Knowledgeware, grew as an IT software and services company and was listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange. Many congratulations, Mr. Rane.
So Prakash, a few words. Prakash is the man who computerized possibly the first municipality in India. It was Kalyan Dombivli, where we met him, and the difference was so apparent, and after that he's done thousands and thousands of them.
Thanks to Scotch Group and CAI for giving this recognition. There are more reasons to be happy today, apart from being recognized. I'm from Mumbai, so meeting so many people face to face with so less masks, that gives me immense pleasure. That's the first additional reason why I feel happy about it. Second is to be in the company of this illustrious awardees as well as the distinguished guests. That makes the recognition more valuable. Thirdly, it's good to see some of the familiar faces who I would call them as the fellow travelers. It's good to meet all these people. ABM has been at the forefront of digitalizing municipality for quite some time now. With almost 25 to 28% of the urban local bodies, that is municipalities and smart cities as our customers, we saw it from very close how important municipalities are for not only for the ease of doing business, but also for the ease of living index. 35% was the urban population 2-3 years back, if I'm right. It's expected to be around 50% in the next few years. That underlines the significance of the need to digitalize municipalities. I feel if a systematic digitalization of municipalities is done, then something around 10% of their annual revenue can be generated only by monetizing the data that they will generate from data digitalization. Of course, there are challenges. There are acute occupational hazards. There are definitely there are challenges which can be surmounted. It requires meticulous planning and sincere appreciation of the nuances of the change management that we look around. I will continue this journey. It's challenging. It is satisfying at times. Such recognitions do give a fillip. We hope to achieve further heights in this field. Thank you, everybody. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Prakash.
The next award goes to Vishal Jain, Joint Managing Director, Inspira Enterprise, for contributions to implementation. Vishal has helped enterprises develop resilience through forensics, investigations, threat hunting, threat intelligence, and response planning. He launched the first Gen Global Security Operations Center facility to provide end-to-end security solutions affordably. Having taken the lead for decades in digital transformation of BFSI, defense, healthcare, oil and gas, and city governance areas with numerous project implementation successes, Inspira today is known for and relied upon for its top-ranked managing security services. Many congratulations, Vishal.
So Vishal Jain is the security man of India. He's done a homegrown company, an Indian company, which is doing fantastic job in cybersecurity.
So true to my age, I think I'm going to use a phone just for some notes, because we're all obsessed with our phones. Thank you, Sameerji. It's an honor to be in his company. Every time you speak to him, you feel really motivated to do something better than what you woke up thinking about doing. I want to skip through a lot of stuff. Obviously, there are a lot of people to thank, but few things we're really passionate about, which really matters to us. Obviously, Sameerji mentioned that not all of us are born with the golden spoon, but I do believe as close to I can. That's how it was. I got a great platform from my father, as well as mentors or supporters like Mr. Dharma here, who've been very, very supportive of our journey. But I think all of you know, if you have any cybersecurity issues, to reach out to us. But what I'm really, really passionate about, and I think Sameerji touched upon, is going through a green initiative for our country, and to make sure we actually make a difference. And in our generation, it's just not about building a company, it's actually trying to make a difference. Whether it's through providing water at the most village level, it's about trying to solve green initiatives at our local level. And personally, and as an organization, we're committed to that, and that's what our journey is going to continue to be while we also serve the government as well as the private sector in solving the cybersecurity needs. So thank you for this platform.
The next award goes to Dr. Subhi Chaturvedi, Chief Corporate and Public Affairs Officer, ZUPI, for contributions to corporate and public affairs. With over 2 decades worth of experience as a strategic advisor, public policy, corporate affairs and communications expert, Dr. Chaturvedi has been at the front and center of some of the most pressing developmental debates of our time, from digital economy, entrepreneurship and startups to diversity and sustainability. Subhi has pushed for inclusive, intentional growth alongside governments, multilateral institutions and international organizations. Many congratulations, Dr. Chaturvedi.
I'm deeply overwhelmed and honored and delighted to be amongst you. I speak for those women who are in the room today and those who are not with us. It's been a long journey. I come from a city called Lucknow, capital of one of the most populous states, so we understand what the value of opportunity is. If you get a crack in the door, you drive a truck through it, you learn early. From my parents, I inherited a set of books. My mother's a Sanskrit scholar. We were never poorer for jokes, humor, and a lot of love and warmth in the house. So you grew up very quickly learning to understand and explain that people process technology. That is what builds frameworks. When you start setting out to build a life for yourself, I spent 5.5 years teaching in LSR, and I was engaging with young women and we were discussing women development issues. We're often accused of overstating our own case. I would never shy away from doing that. You learned very early in the safety of a campus what it meant to state your case about affirmative action. I've been truly blessed to be at the right time, at the right place. I'm very, very inspired with what Dr. Vivek Debroy spoke. It was such a treat listening to him. Samir, thank you again for treating us to this wonderful evening with colleagues. And I'm grateful to all the women who came before us. For my personal journey and my mission, I have a lot of people to thank, but above all, some wonderful mentors and a lot of people who stepped aside and made way for a lot of us. So today, as also the chair of FICCI's Committee for Women in Technology, Policy and Leadership, we're building the next generation of leaders, and we are very, very grateful, very conscious of our privilege. Thank you so, so very much for this deep honor. Grateful. Thank you.
Pleasure, Sudhir.
The next award goes to Geetu Bhatnagar, Senior Director, Marketing, India at Oracle, for contributions to marketing. Ms. Bhatnagar is a person of a high emotional quotient, working in an industry which is supposedly not very high on emotions, information technology. It comes from the conviction that people don't buy facts, they buy feelings that she believes in. This is what has made her a leader in customer experience and marketing strategy from the demand side. Many congratulations, Ms. Bhatnagar.
Thank you so much. Well, as a marketer getting this award from Samir Kochhar, clearly, who created a platform, which is what we marketers do, created a platform for government and public sector to engage and get the right information and content going. And more importantly, to get it from, I would say, God's only and incredible Mr. Kant. I think the marketing guru, I've always looked up to him. So it's a great honor and privilege to get this. I think 2 decades of working with, some of the mentors in my room. I see Bhaskar, who mentored me in Microsoft. Neelam, definitely I would call her out. I worked with her so closely in HP. And Shelly, my current boss in Oracle. And many, many IT friends, Tanmoy, Neil, Mr. Gurnani, of course. Very many people who we've really learned from, because these 2 decades, I can talk about a project which was Department of Post, which was way back in the late 90s, where I actually bought a map of India and bought some drawing pins because we had to set up a LAN in the post offices. And, it was actually a computer, a weighing scale, and a printer. That early, doing projects like that, working on a project for online ticketing for passenger reservation services. I mean, it was so unreal at that point in time. How will we do this? But from inception to execution of the entire project, things that we take so easily granted for today, you know, booking a railway ticket and moving on. Communication projects for the Ministry of Defense, you know, projects like A1, WESI, EMOLS, and Tanmoy is here, Tata Infotech Limited that time was working on most of these projects. You know, as a citizen of the country, I was so intrigued working on those projects. There's so much that we have worked upon.
The next award for contributions to the e-governance plan. What started as an informal paper architected by him on the adoption of e-governance practices by a state in India at the turn of the century got ramped up to a formal e-governance program rolled out nationwide. The credit squarely goes to him for being a rare individual in the private sector, yet an integral and intrinsic part of the rise of digital India as we see it today. Being a key stakeholder in India's journey of e-governance, he consulted not only with the central ministry but also state governments. The development of MyGov, a crowdsourced platform, has been his brainchild. Many congratulations, Mr. Raj.
Congratulations, Neil. You know, as they say, you cannot make an omelette without breaking an egg. Trust me, to make Digital India, a lot of eggs were broken. Most of them were by Neil.
Thanks a lot, Sameer. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Mr. Khan. It's really indeed a privilege. I think thanks, Sameer, in particular for bringing back memories of NEGP. That was the first time when a realization came that let's start with the citizens. Let's somewhere get the citizens first. And then everything else will follow. The demand pressure which it will create will get everything in. I think that was quite a journey that laid the foundation for Digital India. Yes, been very honored to be a part of that, whether it was land records or transport or registration. I think to see poor people in India get some of those very basic things, which even now we take it for granted. We talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about using real advanced stuff in agriculture or health, but then I think we were talking about very, very basic stuff. We were worried about data centers, we were worried about networks, we were worried about basic capacity. I think things have really moved on. So thanks for bringing back those memories. To PwC, I think, which gave me the platform to be able to work on all this. And I must say, I worked with PwC for 33 years, and thanks again. It's a little special day for me. I kind of retired from PwC today. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, Digital India has been 40 years in the making, and we're fortunate to have had a ringside view of Mr. C.P. Gurnani's numerous contributions to it. The Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mr. C.P. Gurnani.
Absolutely delighted that today the first Lifetime Achievement Award will be conferred on Mr. C.P. Gurnani. My association with CP, as we all call him, is over 2 decades. Over the many years that we have worked together, we have learned from him, and I personally have had the pleasure of working with him across many organizations. He's someone who leads from the front and retains his very famous killer selling spirit, and I know how he inspires his team in doing that. He loves the fight even now, with competition, of course, and a never say no attitude. He does respect relationships a lot, and he invests deeply in that. And he does touch people in an unprecedented way when he connects with them and he continues the relationships. I congratulate you, CP, on this very well-deserved honor and wish you all the best here onwards onto your journey that is still continuing and impacting many more people.
Karan, like you mentioned, so delighted, CP, that the first Lifetime Achievement Award is being conferred on Mr. C.P. Gurnani. And, I was saying this to CP a few days ago, and CP hold me to it, but I was saying that, just the plethora or the depth of knowledge that you bring to all of us, it's an honor to interact with you every time. And I don't think there could have been anyone better to actually get conferred with this award than Mr. C.P. Gurnani. So congratulations for that, CP, and also congratulations to all the other recipients of the CEO's Choice Awards. What a phenomenal job, and my congratulations to all of you.
India could not afford mainframes, and it was his work with NIC that made HCL mini computers the first scale-deployed multi-user systems ubiquitous in government projects at the time. Even today, he continues to lead Digital India's growth story from the forefront with strategic projects on various smart cities, GST, and so on. Many congratulations, Mr. Gurnani. A big round of applause, please.
You know, CP has been everybody's guru. हम तो बहुत बच्चे थे इनके सामने आईटी इंडस्ट्री में. So my first encounter with CP Gurnani was because of NIC. NIC those days was led by. And you have to blame Vijay for that. No, not Vijay. There was a gentleman before Vijay called Dr. N. Sheshagiri. Now N. Sheshagiri was South Indian, of course, was Vijay, but Dr. N. Sheshagiri was a South Indian. And he loved to buy PCs and computers only from Shiva Sankaran. Well, I'm not saying there's something wrong with buying computers from South Indians, but you know, when 90% market share is there, then it's the apple, you know, the price that HCL, PCL, everyone is looking at, that how do I get a piece of that? So Ajay Chaudhary, I think, was in HCL then. He deputed Mr. CP Gurnani as head of HCL in Delhi, sales head. One of the things he was doing was to crack NIC. How do you get a foot, break Shiva Sankaran's stronghold and get into NIC? And from PCL side, that task was given to a lowly person called Samir Kochar, which was me. I was only a sales executive, so I do not even want to get into a comparative. And he won, obviously. Hands down, he won. What he did was, there was this, you know, largest tender of the industry. At that time for 80386 processors, I don't know how much you remember that. At NIC had this thing of benchmarking everything, and they had their own operating system called NIC Unix, which I don't believe for a minute was theirs. And so, you know, whatever you sell them was supposed to be benchmarked on that. And peculiarly enough, on this 80386, they were checking the speed of the serial port, which is a global standard. But with that driver and a particular motherboard, that serial port worked very well. I mean, there must have been an application, of course, for that. So we thought कि ये तो गया, ना HCL को मिलेगा, ना PCL को मिलेगा. So there was an IAS officer which was working in NIC then. I would not name the gentleman. Gurnani became good friends with him. We also tried to become friendly with him. But his approach was different and my approach was different. We were like the whistleblowers कि सर क्या हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, हम मर गए, you know. एक ही कंपनी को सब जा रहा है, ऐसे de-risk करने का है. Gurnani साहब goes, meet Shiva Sankaran in a 5-star hotel and cuts a deal. इससे ज़्यादा कर लेते हैं. And he bought motherboards of Shiva Sankaran, which was an audacious act because he told Shiva Sankaran that Shiv Nadar had sent him. Shiv Nadar did not even know that Gurnani existed at that time.
Neelam product manager थी.
Neelam को भी किसी को नहीं पता. This sales guy, you know, that's why you call him Cat's Whiskers, goes and cuts a deal with owner of a company who's a monopoly in NIC to buy motherboards of him. And then, you know, so rest of the history, it was not really a cartelization because they were buying motherboards and they were getting good value, etc., etc. But to narrate this story, there was a guy, my boss those days, called Manoj Kumar Bagi, who used to stay in Lajpat Nagar. His daughter's birthday, Mr. Gurnani was called. Although Mr. Bagi wanted to just cozy up with him because, you know, he was coming up. So we were called as good audience. You tell my team the story of, you know, how you cracked NIC because my team is great. So he came and told us that story.
So I can only say that I'm happy that I am today sharing this stage with the creator of modern India, Amitabh Kant. I mean, I don't know whether Dr. Debroy speaks economics or not, but he definitely speaks great English. So thank you very much, sir, for all the lessons in English today. And you know, Samir Kochar, you know, again, I don't know whether he is practicing inclusive India or he is taking history lessons. But thank you for reminding me. And, and so all I can tell you is that, you know, a lot of people out here, you know, I've grown up with. You reminded me of Neelam. Industry knows us as best friends, but they've never seen us talking to each other because they've only seen us talking at each other. So we continue to fight, but we are like siblings who ultimately stand by each other. Ajay clearly is a mentor, he is a brother, he has been a mentor to almost 1/3 of the people in this room. And in a lot of ways, he has clearly, in my opinion, created the majority of us in the Indian IT industry. So thank you, Ajay, for being there, for being the mentor. And I'm happy that Scotch has done more than serving Scotch. I'm happy that he has a sobering influence in Manisha. And I'm very, very happy when I meet the children, both the boys. I mean, they clearly are better versions of Samir. So congratulations for the better versions. And I am delighted that this Lifetime Achievement Award is not to superannuate me. And it is only to recognize my 141,000 associates at Tech Mahindra. So thank you again, Harsh. Thank you, Jagdish, for representing people who could not be present here. As everybody knows that I was not the Rolling Stone of this industry. I have had only 2 careers. One is HCL and one is Mahindra's. One of my mentors, my clients, and a very, very dear friend, Dr. Vijayaditya, is here. And again, thank you, Vijay, for being here. Person I'm definitely missing is my wife, Annu. She happens to be with her parents in California. But I know she would have been happiest because she finally decided, or she has now learned that I did something right because I got an award here. So thank you guys, and thank you for conveying this message to Annu. And again, thank you everybody. It's been good fun so far, and I'm not fading away. Whatever you guys may decide by lifetime achievement. So I am going to be here, and I am going to serve all of you and Tech Mahindra. Thank you.
Just say that I want to congratulate all the winners of this award. Very prestigious Scotch Award. Great event put up by Samir and his brilliant sons. So all the best. You know, my really great wishes to all the people who've done so much for this country. And I really want to congratulate. It's a great pleasure and an honor for me to give the award to Mr. Gurnani. You know, I've been a great admirer of his. If anybody in this country deserves the Lifetime Award, it's Mr. Gurnani for his really outstanding service. If Tech Mahindra is what it is because of his unique contribution to this company. So he's unique, he's full of energy, full of vibrancy, full of dynamism, and he gets youthful by the year. So all the best to Mr. Gurnani, and I'm sure that he'll get many, many, many more Lifetime Achievement Awards in the years to come, and he'll keep getting younger by the day. So all the best to Mr. Gurnani. Great pleasure. You know, Mr. Kochar is one of the biggest foodies in town. So I didn't even know that I had to give an award. I'd just come to enjoy the food, actually. So he dragged me out from there. So I'm just looking forward to the meal, and I think all of you should look forward to the meal. Just have a great time. He gives away awards on the pretext of serving great food, so just enjoy this great food. Thank you.
Peer recognition always helps. Coming from Scotch has made this extremely special. I think the way the award was given made us feel so very special, and it's extremely heartwarming to see not just the welcome or just the acknowledgement, but just the fact that the entire family of fraternity getting together in today's day and age, specifically in the midst of a pandemic, is something which is really nice.
I have gone through the books Sameer has written. I have gone through various articles in inclusion. I have seen the way they are choosing projects for giving awards. The way different initiatives are taken by Scotch show one thing for sure, that they have not lost their basics. They are not getting carried away with superficial cosmetic initiatives, but those sustainable initiatives which will create long-term foundation for achieving visible impacts. And Scotch's every initiative is bundled around this.
A lot of people like us, or maybe even so many others, who just work towards a certain mission, their own zeal, and sometimes enabled by the organization. And what happens is, some of these awards just really enables us to think bigger and just keeps us motivated. So I think it's a very, very unique thing, and thankful to be part of it.
I think the collective task of all of us together is to work together to be able to rebuild that new India, which is going to be resurgent, powerful, not from a military standpoint, but from an ability to sustain its population, to be able to have equitable distribution of prosperity, education, healthcare, drinking water, proper staying facilities, infrastructure for the people. All of these are attributes which are all the building blocks for the new India. And I would like to continue to contribute towards that, achieving that objective.
I would just want to continue working towards inclusivity, diversity, and making sure that we democratize emerging technologies for the larger advantage of humanity. And organizations like Scotch can be such a big collaborator in this journey.